at you again with another look at some stock market charts and market commentary for this upcoming week. Well, we're at the end of the month, so we're going to take a look at some long-term charts to see where we're at. The week pretty much ended up as I expected, other than to the extremes more than I expected. You know, instead of being up 50, it'd be up 100. Instead of being down 75 to 100, it'd be down 150. So it was obvious to me that volatility was increasing in this market and was returning. And I posted about it last week on the blog. You could see it. You could see it moving back in. You could see the reactions to news actually making things happen. And I expect this will continue for the rest of this month, this upcoming month. I probably die down a little bit throughout the summer, but I bet you this month, because Memorial Day is the last day of this month, or the last weekend of this month, and I think it's going to hang around until then. That's just my thought. So now we're looking at weekly charts. This is a 5-year weekly chart right here on the VIX, the VIX. This is what I've been talking about for a long time. I just noticed when it consolidated for its up move here, it would hit the 16 level, bounce up. You'd have a big pullback here, all the way back up, 32.50, down here, 16, all the way back up, 32 area. And that's what I was looking for here. That's what I've been talking about. It's very similar formation, come down, consolidate. Now, the difference is this was going up, consolidating, going up. This looks like it's consolidating and then coming down for a breakdown. So that's the difference. Now, that doesn't mean that has to occur. It just looks to me like like this is going to consolidate, maybe pop back up here. You know, it may poke its nose out once or twice and then come back down. So let's watch that. And it could be a reversal instead of continuation consolidation. But it's there, and we just need to be aware of it. So let's look at the Dow. Now, I find this very interesting. I got the studies off here. Sorry about that. Let's turn those on. When I pull back and we take the month to look at my monthly charts, if we head to drawings, you can see right where we're at. Right on this 200 moving average on the weekly. Okay, so right here. Now we got a kind of a tweezer top formation with these candles. Not exactly, but darn close. It looks pretty bearish here, sitting on here. We did break above the 200. Now we're clearly way back beneath it again. Okay, we're still above that 11,000, which personally I don't think is a big deal, just because the media hyped it up a bit. Volume has increased from last month, as you'd expect with some selling. We are above the 20 moving average quite a ways, but this 200 moving average has come into play, and you can see how it worked here. You know, when it broke down, it wasn't a big deal, hung out around it. The retest, my favorite trade, the retest of the 200 and then moving down. So let's watch this, and this is where I think we're going to have our pullback. This could be the catalyst that gives our pullback for another run up, and I do think eventually we're probably going to be looking at you know, a 12,000 or so move. It could probably be even a little bit more. 12,000 just a round number, but I think it'll be a little bit more than that. And if we look at the SPX, same type of thing. Sorry about that. Same type of thing here in the SPX. Right underneath the 200 moving average, you can see a really big red candle, almost an engulfing, not quite. Right underneath the 200 moving average is where it's starting to meet some resistance here. Same type of thing. Okay, it's a weekly chart coming up, so it makes sense that it would be slowing down here on the weekly, and it makes sense for a good pullback. Now the Nasdaq, completely different story. Nasdaq broke all the way up. It's clearly way above the 200 moving average, and that's why I keep saying I think this will be our leader when it's time to break down. This thing has been oversold, you know, thanks mostly in part to Apple. Apple's been just going crazy. Amazon's been going crazy. A lot of the Nasdaq stocks have just been going nutso and dragging this thing up. Now this looks more like a bearish engulfing. I mean, it opened at 25.29, and the close here was 24.77. So it is a bearish engulfing candle up here at the top on the weekly. Here was a bearish engulfing right here. You can see it drop down for 1, 2, 3, 4 weeks before rallying. So that's something we could watch for. We could see this 4-week drop down here to the 2300 area or something like that before having another takeoff. And I think finding support in that 23, 25 area, something like that. That's kind of what I'd be looking for. Now the same thing, if you look at the Russell, very similar to the Nasdaq, same thing, just broke out like a rocket over the 200. It kind of stalled out. You can see a little bit on there. It's at the top Bollinger Band, just sliding right up the top up there. Okay. Now if you look at these on the weekly, you can see where, as if this move had happened up here, you kind of have an inverse head and shoulders type thing. Down here, if you look here, you got like a cup and handle type formation. Okay. So nothing strong. It's a weekly chart. It just kind of gives you an idea of what's going on the in the big picture. I like to do it near the end of every month. And if you look at the daily, we'll whip through these real quick. you can see this 20 moving average has been offering support. It's been taken out again. Every time it gets taken out, it becomes weaker and weaker. So this is the Dow on the 20. It's consolidating here a little bit, starting a little bit of trend. And in fact, if we drew some lines on it, I've got lines drawn all over. You could see probably here and here, you probably got a wedge forming type formation forming up there. The Nasdaq, same type of thing with the Nas. Hit this resistance level. This is one I've had in there for a while. Come up, hit it, and now it's dropped down and taken out a whole nother support level. Dropped clearly beneath the 20 moving average. I would expect to see this to continue to drop a bit down there. That's what I'm going to be looking for. And then the SPX, same thing on the daily here. It's kind of a wedge formation. I'll draw it out so you can see what I'm talking about here. Zoom in a little bit, take a line, and you can see how it's kind of forming down in here. It's a little sharp to be a true wedge, but it gives you the idea that you're making lower highs and higher lows. All right, that's basically what it is this last 3 days. Lower highs and higher lows. So we're looking for a breakout here, and I would say to the downside, every big day has been a down day. Okay, so look for another big down day with the 20 moving average, which has clearly acted as support. Just got smashed this last week, and it's going to be easier to smash now more than ever. The next would be the 50 is down here, and then we've got some obvious support areas along the way, 1183 being the closest. All right, so that's kind of what we're looking at, and that's what we're looking at for the week. A little bit more of down movement. We've got a lot of news coming out this week. Thursday's a big day with jobs numbers. We got employment, factory orders. Monday's got spending and truck sales. And then we got unemployment rate Thursday and Friday, non-farm payrolls, all that kind of stuff. So that'll all be market movers. And if I'm right, if that volatility is coming in like I think it is, those are going to be moving the market a lot more than they have in the past. So let's look at some individual stocks. All right, let's start with WLP Wellpoint, a post-earnings trade. You can see here, well, I like this. Bounced off the 200 moving average, real nice rally, hit the 20. Now it's taken out the 200. All right, so it's down, breach it for the third time, clearly on high volume. What I like about this is you got a gap for support right here that I'd be watching for. Two, when you have a big move like this, a lot of times you have the gap up and the buying. You have a little white candle in here. So tomorrow might be a great entry point for this, Monday or Tuesday. In fact, what I'd be looking for is a retest of the 200 moving average around 56 or so, and then I'd be looking to play it down to this gap fill right here. So if it just continues to drop, you know, I look for entry points. I don't just jump in. So if it continues to drop, you can go ahead and play it to downside. But I'd be looking for support here and a bounce and then a drop down here, and that'd probably be where I'd play even more. So anyway, that's Wellpoint. That's a nice one. That's one I was looking at this weekend. Oh, let's see if I can get these to work. That'd be nice, eh? NDNP is another one. Another one, look at that, right on the 200 moving average. Okay, yeah, it's beneath it a little bit, but it's close enough. Took out all this nice support right here where this previous head and shoulders pattern right here. Clear that. Now we got a gap fill down here, 2050 area. So if this breaches the 200 tomorrow, this might be a really good short down here to the 2050 area to fill this gap. We got a nice clear gap. It's another earnings trade, gap down on earnings. Probably have a reactionary bounce, which would be perfect. A nice little move up, and then a move back down beneath the 200 moving average. Get you a better price on your options. You can play options like I do. All right. Here's another one. PCAR. George Picard. This is just a bullish, a bearish engulfing. You can see I like this just because it rallied strong, came down, rallied strong off earnings, had a real nice doji here. Bearish engulfing. Now it's consolidating, but I really like this bearish engulfing candle. I just think it's a real nice one here, and I like this to have a move to the downside. Maybe I'd be looking for support in that 44.75 area, 44.50 area, and then maybe a continued move down from there. This has been on a nice rally, so it's going to have some strength, and there will be some buyers stepping in. So keep an eye on that. And MNTA is another one. Same type of thing, just a nice little bearish engulfing. I love these little moves off the bottom Bollinger Band. Usually leads to a new low being made. So I would expect this to drop down $12.75, $13 area. So that's it. They're all bearish. Yes, I know. I didn't take time to find a bullish one. Maybe next week. So anyway, we've got a lot of news coming out. I expect volatility to increase, bigger moves, which make it more fun and more profitable for me and hopefully for you. So this will be the AK Option Trader signing off. Trade well and prosper.